What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NFL Week 1 Millionaire Maker. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. Okay guys, this is for the Millionaire Maker slate, which is the Sunday main slate at 1 p.m. Oh, and stick around to the very end of this video. After I show you all my picks in the Draft Dashboard tools, I'll show you these players in DraftKings and in FanDuel, the Millionaire Maker slates. There'll be 2 spots open that you have to fill in, but you'll have a great Millionaire Maker core. Okay guys, NFL Week 1, let's take a look at the quarterback position. My Millionaire Maker quarterback is Jalen Hurts from the Philadelphia Eagles playing the Atlanta Falcons, who have the 3rd worst defense overall, and they give up the 2nd most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts, he scored 17, 25, and 41 fantasy points in his last 3 games of the season last year, and I like this pick as a fantasy quarterback because Jalen Hurts rushed the ball 8, 9, and 11 times in those last 3 games. Now, he's only going to be about 3% owned. He's projected at 21.2 fantasy points here in Week 1. He's only 6,400 DraftKings salary. He's 1,200 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 48 points scored in this game, and they have the Eagles trailing by 3.5. So this is a fantastic matchup, relatively high scoring game here. And if the Eagles fall behind, Jalen Hurts may have to do a lot of work. So I like Jalen Hurts here versus the Atlanta Falcons. Okay, let's take a look at the running back position. Now, of course, guys, I could give you Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, but those are the obvious studs on this slate. So for my Millionaire Maker running back, I like Raheem Mostert from the San Francisco 49ers playing the Detroit Lions, who had the absolute worst defense overall, and they gave up the absolute most fantasy points to opposing running backs last year. Raheem Mostert, he averaged 12.6 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 13 rush attempts per game and 2.4 pass targets per game. So I'd like to see him get a little more volume this year, but he is projected at 12.9 fantasy points here in Week 1, and he's only 5,800 DraftKings salary and only 300 more on FanDuel. Looks like he's going to be about 6% owned, so you're getting a low salary, low ownership player for your Millionaire Maker lineup. And Vegas thinks there's going to be 45 points scored in this game, with the San Francisco 49ers favored by 8. So I like the fact that the 49ers are favored by 8 and that the matchup couldn't get any better here versus the Detroit Lions. So if the San Francisco 49ers build a big lead, Raheem Mostert could get a ton of work in this one. So I like Raheem Mostert here versus the Detroit Lions. Real quick guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all the tools for NFL. NBA is right around the corner. This is a great time to get in and try everything for 1 month. The tools are all about saving research time. You can see the last 3 games, the fantasy points per game, the targets they got per game, so you can see how involved they are in the offense, the rushes they got per game. Seeing all this stuff on one screen helps you save time and make better picks. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the wide receiver position. Now, I'm not going to mess around here, guys. My Millionaire Maker wide receiver is Calvin Ridley from the Atlanta Falcons playing the Philadelphia Eagles, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and they give up the 7th most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. Calvin Ridley, he averaged 20.4 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 9.5 targets per game. He was on the field for 73% of the snaps, and he touched the ball 18% of the time last year. I think those numbers are going to go up with no Julio Jones. He's going to be the main target. He's projected at 19.5 fantasy points here in week 1. He's $7,900 DraftKings salary and $200 more on FanDuel. So we know Vegas thinks there's going to be 48 points scored in this game, with the Falcons favored by 3.5. It's a great matchup, and I think he's going to get over 10 targets in this game. So I like Calvin Ridley here versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, moving on to the tight end position. So you got Travis Kelce and George Kittle. Those are the studs on the slate, but I'm going to save a little bit of salary here at this position. My millionaire maker tight end is Logan Thomas from the Washington football team playing the LA Chargers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and they gave up the 8th most fantasy points to opposing tight ends last year. Logan Thomas averaged 11.2 fantasy points per game on the season. He got an average of 6.9 pass targets per game. He's only going to be about 3% owned, and I like this pick because he was on the field for 93% of the snaps last year, touched the ball 11% of the time. He's projected at 11.9 fantasy points here in week 1. He's $4,600 at DraftKings salary and $1,000 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 44.5 points scored in this game, and they have the Washington football team trailing by 1. So a close, competitive game, and Logan Thomas got 9, 6, and 12 pass targets in his last 3 games last year. And like I said, he was on the field for 93% of the snaps, so he's always out there. I think he's going to get at least 7 to 10 pass targets in this one, and his salary is pretty low in a good matchup. So I like Logan Thomas here versus the LA Chargers. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video, or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. You've unlocked the bonus content. Okay guys, here we are in the DraftKings lineup optimizer over on Draft Dashboard, and we have our Millionaire Maker core locked in here. We've generated a lineup, so let's see who we got. The quarterback, we got Jalen Hurts. Then at the running back position, we have Raheem Mostert and James Robinson. For wide receivers, we have Marquez Callaway, Stephon Diggs, and Calvin Ridley. At the tight end position, we have Logan Thomas, and then we have T. Higgins in our flex position with the Washington football team in our defense spot. So I really like this lineup. You got the value play of Marquez Callaway, who's only $3,400 DraftKings salary. He's going to be about 23% owned, but then you have some low ownership plays to make this lineup different, with Logan Thomas at 3% and Raheem Mostert and James Robinson both coming in at only 6% ownership. I think James Robinson is another one of those sneaky plays. He's got a fantastic defensive matchup versus the Houston Texans, who gave up the 2nd most fantasy points to opposing running backs last year. And you're not going to overpay for him here in week 1. So I like this lineup. So let's save this so we can optimize it later. Okay, now here we are in the FanDuel lineup optimizer over on Draft Dashboard. We have our Millionaire Maker core locked in. We've generated a lineup. So let's see who we got. We got Jalen Hurts, Mike Davis, Raheem Mostert, Tyler Boyd, Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley, Logan Thomas, DK Metcalf, and the Broncos defense. So we got a lot of firepower at the wide receiver position with Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley, DK Metcalf, and then Tyler Boyd. He's our low ownership player, coming in at only 2% ownership, but I think he's got a lot of upside here in week 1. He's got a great matchup, and he played really well last year. So I think this is a great lineup. So I'm going to save this lineup so I can optimize it later. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NFL slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.